As someone who's worked in the finance industry for over 10 years at Goldman Sachs, HSBC, Morgan Stanley, and so on, and someone who's worked in investment banking, sales and trading, and someone who offers career advice, right, as a career coach, often people will ask me, oh, why do I advise people stop working hard? Why do I give this type of unconventional, unpredictable career advice? It's because it genuinely doesn't pay off. And I know this from my experience, and you've got to be strategic in the way you work. And in this video, you're going to learn from myself and my experience, and also the experience from someone who's a highly skilled tech worker and who's good at coding. So you're going to get the perspective of the tech industry and the finance industry of how to deal with workplace politics.
Today's video, a lot of people, they get their job, they land that job that they want, and maybe usually it's their first job that they ever get, and they go in just like pedal to the metal, foot on the floor, gas, 100%. They're maxing out every single day. And it's my advice to not do that for a few reasons. I know for most of you guys out there, you're grateful for that opportunity. Somebody reached out, somebody said, hey, you know what? We value you. Here's an offer. And you are just like amazed, and you want to do everything you can to get in there and show them that you are worth that hire and you are worth it. That potential that they saw in you and they wanted to hire you for it, you're worth it, and you want to verify that, and you feel like you owe it to them when you first get the job, so they can be like, oh yeah, we made the right decision. Okay, first of all, I don't think that's the right mindset to have. You should be grateful for the opportunity of being hired there and appreciate being there, but I don't think that you should feel all of a sudden like I have to work 150 hours. When you first get your job, it's time to set standards. Just like in negotiating money, you set your standard, you set your rates, and people know what you value yourself as when you go into these negotiations.
So that's quite important, right? Not to max yourself out. You start a job, you might max out yourself. Watch my probation video where I mentioned when you start a new role, how to handle that correctly. You might want to start a place and you feel so grateful for the job, you overwork yourself, you overexert yourself to impress the management, right? And then if you set a really high bar, they'll expect that performance every single day for years on end. When typically you can only work at a certain level, you can't work at a very high rate, high performance rate every single day, day in, day out. Set standards in terms of working at a decent pace and not too fast. A decent pace you can work at every day, not just a decent pace you can work at for the first 3 months during the probation period. Set clear boundaries, a clear lunch break, start and finish time. Make sure and what you should understand is you're typically hired on the basis of your potential, not what you can actually do. So they might hire you and think like, oh, they train you up, you can get better. So that's why you should start a bit slow and really slowly pick up the pace of the work. You don't want to be working at 100 miles an hour going into the gate. Let you slowly ease into the role. Avoid digging a hole, right? And what I mean by that is avoid digging a hole for yourself where you've put in so much effort, so much time and energy, and then you dig the hole so deep in the sense that you've worked so hard that they expect you to keep digging at a very fast pace, and you think you're doing a lot of productive work, but you're digging a hole in terms of setting too high expectations for yourself from management. If you set that respect level is quite important in terms of your time and the work you're willing to do, and that will make sure you command respect from others and you're not an easy pushover that people can just use and exploit. And the moment you become a pushover, the moment you get a reputation for being a dumb donkey in the workplace, a workhorse in the workplace, they will exploit you by dumping more and more work on you, and it'll be more and more stressful, and you'll get paid the same.
The more you bend to their wishes without asking for compensation, the more that they're going to ask from you without even offering compensation. And the more you take, the more they'll give. It's like when you were in school and you had those teachers that just give you work, just busy work that you know wasn't part of the grade, but they needed to keep you doing something because that was the requirement. If you finish the first thing, they give you another thing, and if you finish that thing, they give you another thing. Well, welcome to real life, where that's all there is now. If you finish all your work super quick, guess what? There's always more work to do. It's not like you get to finish your work and you get to go home. You will burn yourself out, and you'll need to chill out before that happens. You always got to pace yourself, man. This is real life now. There is no, I'm going to do everything that's required of me and check all the boxes and then just go home. So pace yourself, don't burn yourself out, and don't take a whole bunch of extra stuff that you don't have to, at least without compensation, whether that compensation is in money, or that compensation is an extra day off, or that compensation is you can leave a little bit early. Don't do extra stuff without extra compensation. Show that you respect your time. Don't go in with your foot on the gas and have that just pressed all the way down. Have it maybe like 10-20% of what you can do. This doesn't mean don't challenge yourself and don't take hard tickets and take hard activities and projects at work or whatever.
So you should see yourself as a contract worker, right? Or a freelancer, and be ready to jump to another opportunity at any moment, right? And you should pace yourself, as he's mentioning here, right? Without naming the specific investment banks, you know, some major American investment banks I've worked at, you've got to, you know, pace yourself. I've set the bar way too high coming into the gate, and then they complain that I'm not working at that level every day. And there's co-workers who are working at a very slow pace. And what they do, some co-workers, is they're working on a project that's quite easy, but they make it seem like it's super stressful and complicated just so they can buy themselves more time to get the work done and work at a slow pace. And that's what you need to do for yourself too, rather than doing all the work at the very fast pace and sending it to your manager immediately. Drag out the work a bit so you can work at a slower pace.
In my opinion, you should do it backwards, and you should just have the pedal pressed just a little bit. Don't be going full throttle, just enough to make them happy. Maybe a little bit more than that. But that's how I work, because if I ever want to impress them, if I ever want to show immediate improvement, I'm going to hit the pedal. I'm going to press the pedal all the way, and everyone's like, wow, blown away. This was an amazing project, Josh. Wow, we can't believe what you really came through for us. And then you let back off the pedal again and go back to normal. So you know what you can do. You can really push yourself if you need to and hit that exponential mark and really just wow them. But don't start off that way, because it won't be a wow. It would just be the baseline expectation you set for them.
So that's important, right? That's what I mean about taking your pace at the right time when you are working, right? This will avoid you from working hard, because working hard typically doesn't pay off, as I say, right? So what you should do is, you know, work at around a 60% of your maximum effort rate. 60%, it depends on the scenario, but I'd say 60% of what you can do, and then only pick it up when it's needed, when they have a, you know, end of tax year accounts, financial accounts, end of month projects that you need to do. That's when you pick up the work. End of quarter, financial reporting, things like that. And that's when you'd pick up your work effort during those busy periods. If you're not in a busy period, just work at a steady pace. Make it seem like your work is quite busy, but it's manageable. That's what you need to do. A lot of people get bothered by this. They think it's not ethical, but it's just business, right? You're just doing what you can in that type of scenario. And what you're doing is playing the game. The company's playing the game. Do you think your manager works hard? Probably not. Do you think your co-workers, the CEO is working hard? No, it's all about appearances for them. They make public appearances. They make their appearance known in specific meetings. They're not really working hard. Other people who are idiots are working hard. And typically you're put in a position to be that idiot, to be that workhorse, to work hard. That's where you got to push back a bit in the right way, right? Work hard at a rate that you can maintain over the long term, not that you burn yourself out. Nothing is ethical in the modern corporation. Nothing is ethical around you. Any structure, institution around you is not being ethical, so you shouldn't be ethical with this system. You can be ethical with your relationships, your family, friends, whatever your life goals are outside of work, but don't be ethical in the modern corporation, which is highly inefficient.
You're going to make your coworkers mad. You're gonna piss your coworkers off. No one likes the guy that comes in early and stays late consistently on a consistent basis, because everyone's gonna be like, look man, what you're doing here is you're making the rest of us look bad for doing our job, for doing what we're required to do. We are now below you, and we are looking like we are slacking for doing exactly what we are required to do. But because you're coming in here pushing, you are raising the working hour standard. So you're coming in here working 12 hours a day. For us to be team players, we should work 12 hours a day and eat at our desk too, because that's what management is going to start to expect from us, because you're pushing all these standards higher and higher and higher, and like we've been there, man. We were there, we did it. Please stop doing that. It's just not going to allow you to form a good relationship with your coworkers, because no one wants to work with that guy that's like, look man, we get it, you do good work, we do good work too. I'm sure everyone's eager to help you, and I'm sure you're eager to get help from them, but imagine looking like this,
So that's the reality of it, right? So co-workers are going to get mad at you. They're going to make them look like they're less good employees. You raise the standards to an unsustainable way. Not only will you regret it from burning out, you're going to make everyone else, you're going to alienate everyone else from you, right? So you need to be careful about that. Now, if you're looking for specific career advice to help you deal with that difficult type of workplace environment where you're not sure how much work you should put in, how to read in between the lines of co-workers, is something I can help provide you with through career advice sessions specifically tailored to you. There's a link in description where we can speak directly, and I can help you with this. Hope you found that video helpful. Let me know in the comments about how you manage your work effort output throughout the work day and your career. In the comment section, let me know what your thoughts are on that. There are 2 recommended videos on your screen right now, and I'll see you next time.